Welcome to Redvee TV's Instant Fan Reaction, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2021 season, as we reflect on Saints' 30 points to 14 victory over Wakefield Trinity here this evening. We made hard work of that one.
That is exactly how I wanted to start this. Made hard work for ourselves. It looks very bright, I think, on this video, potentially. A lot brighter than the weather's been. It's been absolutely horrific here. But nonetheless, we played in worse conditions against Wigan, and we didn't make quite as much of a porridge as we did today.
I think it was as we were driving over, you could just see as we dipped down into Wakefield, the black clouds forming. The moment we kicked off, the heavens opened. But that's not an excuse for the performance this evening, which I think it has to be said fell way below the standards that we expect, despite the scoreline at the end.
Yeah, I think we played within ourselves as well. We made quite a few errors. There was a couple where we got penalised for back-chatting to the ref, which is stupid in itself.
There's only going to be one winner with failure, isn't there?
Well, it doesn't matter. Any referee, you chat back to him, and you're going to get marched 10. But yeah, I think we just played within ourselves. We made too many errors. It was a nervy pre-Wembley performance.
Yeah, the opening 20, I think we scored, and then we did look like we were in second and third gear, but unfortunately Wakefield decided to pick up, and we didn't pick up the pace with them, and yeah, we looked lacking a little bit out wide defensively. I think that's where all Wakefield's tries come from. Something to work on in the next week.
Yeah, that's it. We obviously comment from a Saints point of view. Let's just give props to Wakey for how they played. They've turned up there. I thought Lino was good, Lino, however it's pronounced. I thought Liam Kay, who's a winger playing at dummy half at hooker, he had a good game as well. I mean, at times we were looking, he was playing second row, and he was playing like prime Chris Joint, or we were making him look like that anyway. But Wakey's heart and spirit was there. But as you say, unfortunately, we were in second and third gear, and it was like our clutch had broke. We couldn't go through the gears. When we were reduced to 12, when they were reduced to 12, we took 2 in front of the sticks with about 5 or 6 minutes left of the half. When they'd just been reduced down, had a man in the sin bin, and you think, I know the weather's off, but that's too much respect. That was too much respect for me. That's where, and people will point at it and say, listen, we got the win, so it was the right decision. But to me, you can show a team too much respect there. Even
when the game was in the balance and we're leading by 2, we went and took the 2 as well to increase the lead by 4. I'm not sure on them tactics. I could see it last week. Wigan were trying to knock our heads off. It was a big game. You're just trying to keep the scoreboard ticking over. And you could say, in the end, the results has probably justified it tonight. But there's going to come times where we're going to come a little bit of a cropper. Are we still looking back at the Warrington performance, where if you'd have kept taking them 2 points, you'd have got the victory? But I think sometimes you've got to try and get your attack and show the confidence in them. For me, does it show a lack of confidence in the attack as well? The fact that we're not running it from 10 metres out?
Possibly. Are we not showing our hand ahead of Wembley? Are we turning around and saying, right, we've got a couple of set plays that we don't want to put out here, so instead we're going to set the 2, keep the scoreboard ticking over?
Would it be the most Redvee spectacled view to think we were showing them the outside, letting them score out wide, because that's where we want Cass to focus the tactics next week, and we'll close them down?
Well,
it's a almighty bluff.
It would be. I mean,
and it's a great bluff if it is.
It really is. But the thing is, we've had players popping out of the line all season, so if your wingers are coming in, and I know we had to when we were down to 12, but if your wingers are coming in, it's not a new thing. But that's it. Listen, Wakefield played some good stuff, some good passes out wide to the wingers, and capitalised on our errors. But in the end, we've just proved too strong for them. And as you say, it's just one that you come away from and you think, we could have lost that. That's the first time, kind of, other than obviously when we've been beaten by Warrington and Catalan, where I've gone in front and thought, we need a couple more here because these are spirited.
Yeah, 16-14. We were conceding penalties. Wakefield looked like they were getting a roll on, and I think I tweeted saying we need to look interested. And luckily we did decide to kick into gear. But you're right. We could easily be coming away from here with a loss tonight. I have to say, we talked on the preview show. We got it roughly in the ballpark, didn't we? We said difficult place to come. We never seem to really win handsomely here, and we back Saints by 14. Lachlan Coote, we've bigged him up all week. Said we're not bothered about him. Well, not bothered. We're happy for him to obviously move on to pastures new in terms of for his own career and his own financial well-being, and obviously Saints. He'll go with our best wishes, but after kicking that goal tonight to make it 16 on the hooter, he's just done us out of our Wembley ale money, hasn't he?
He could have dragged it wide, couldn't he?
Did he not watch the preview show?
After all we said, after all the nice things we said, and he goes and does that to us.
Parch next Friday night, me and you are going to be. Yeah. And it's all Lachlan's fault. I hope it was worth it. For an extra 2 on the books.
But I actually said, turn it down, set up and turn it down.
I was texting you, wasn't I, saying, go and put him off.
I actually said to a couple of people who were stood around me, should I just run on and charge it down? I wouldn't have made it, there's not a chance. I wouldn't have got over the wall. You could have
gone and stood behind him and said, Lachlan, you don't need to do this, mate. What, leave?
Lachlan.
Okay, on to players who came in tonight. Matty Lee's good to see him back in the lineup.
Definitely.
Does he play next week?
I think he does. I think if he's come through that without any bumps and bruises, I think he does. I think he's got credit in the bank. And that's it. He come on. It was the plan to play in reduced minutes. I almost thought that he might come on 10 minutes before half time, play 10 minutes after, and then come off, and then potentially if we needed him at the end, we had him in reserve. But he didn't do anything wrong, did he? Good first hit out after so long out with a broken ankle. Great to see him back.
Joel Thompson back in the lineup tonight, back from injury. Has he done enough to force his way into the squad next week? And if so, who misses out?
I think he's probably a bench man. I think he's probably on the bench. I think he probably stays in because of his experience. He put a good hit on David Fafita towards the end as well, didn't he? Dislodge the ball. But yeah, he's just probably his experience kind of keeps him round and about. I can't see anyone, or I can't think of anyone who would miss out for him, but I think he'll start on the bench because I think Joel Batchelor might have nailed that starting spot.
I was going to say Joel Batchelor. Joel Batchelor. Oh, we've had James, we've had Joel. Joel Batchelor, does he get into your 17 next week? I think you've just obviously said he does. But
I think he does, yeah. I think he starts. I think your decision probably next week, if everybody comes through that all right, no problems with disciplinary. You've got Louis to come back in, haven't you? And you've got... Oh, that's a good one, actually. Does Louis come back in instead of Thompson? Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Louis...
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. But then do you go with a bench of...
If Louis wasn't going to be in the squad next week, then you wouldn't have rested him tonight.
Yes.
Or are you? Well, I was going to say, are you going with your best 17, but you're obviously not because Theo Farge has missed out tonight.
Yeah. So Farge comes back in. So your bench spot is between Dodd and Welsby.
It's got to be Welsby.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It probably is.
It's got to be Welsby on the basis of the intangibles he can offer.
He can play it anyway.
Yes.
In other words, yeah. I think your bench then. Do you go with a massive bench of Parsi, Lees, and Amore, or do you go Parsi, Lees, and Thompson?
I would go Parsi, Lees, Amore. With Welsby as you on the bench.
Actually, yeah, I retract everything I said about Joel Thompson. There's a chance he could miss out next week. It's amazing. It's amazing when you think of all the players, though. The players that we've rested, and you think he's just slipped out of your mind because you've not watched him play. But all of a sudden, you think, yeah, Louis going to be in. Louis will be in.
Yeah, and I just don't think he's done a lot wrong, but I don't think he's shown enough to be in next week, Joel Thompson. And I think based on those, I think that's the call for me. Lewis Dodd making his long-awaited start at half-back tonight. I thought he had generally a quiet game. but one moment of brilliance, dropping the shoulder, going past 2 or 3 and going in under the sticks, just showing you a little glimmer of the talent he's got.
I'll go with 2 moments of brilliance then. When Wakefield had to play the ball, there was no one at dummy half and he was the first one to drop on it. You're right, he had a quietish game, showed little bits, but I think we played mainly through Lomax anyway, so I don't think that he was played to his full potential. I think it was one of them games where he kind of feels his way into the first team at half-back. I just hope some of our fans don't think we've got prime Sean Long being dropped into that team, or even prime Jamie Lyon or Leon Price who playing 6. I just hope that that's not the case. The lad's got to learn, and he'll be all the better for an 80-minute run out there in the halves, where he's done a little bit of kicking, he's done a little bit of running, a little bit of tackling as well at half-back, and made, as I say, two very good plays.
Good to be back. It's been, I think we were talking coming over, is it 15, 16 months since we did an away game?
Yeah.
These on-the-spot fan reactions, it's a lot better in the flesh, even if we have started at the biggest
the
shell
less,
in Super League.
Yes, the less luxurious ground, and we've had to both come dressed for winter and summer. As we're both in our shorts, but also it's a good job I had this rain jacket after it just started hosing it down straight away. Yeah, it's good to be back though, isn't it? It is good to be back. It's good to be back in the grounds. It's good to be back watching live sport. I love going to the Totally Wicked, but I do love my away days as well. So it's good seeing people, having a chat with them, and kind of just catching up on people you've not seen for, as you say, 15, 16 months.
Yeah, considering we've got Wembley next week, obviously that's a very expensive do next week, especially if you're going with a family, £55 a ticket, and then obviously all your travel costs on top. But for Saints fans to still bring probably 100 or so over on a Friday evening, I don't even know if the club have put official coaches on, because obviously they've not been selling the tickets themselves, and fans have had to come through Wakefield to get the tickets. Pretty good showing on a Friday night, the week before Wembley.
Yeah, and in good voice as well.
Can I just say, by the way, whoever has got the if I hadn't seen such riches I could live with being poor flag, that is a very good effort. I really like that flag.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
very nice indeed.
Well, yeah, they were in good form, good heart, and good song tonight. They were giving James Batchelor a little bit of stick, saying he wasn't as good as his brother. He took it quite well. He was laughing as he sat down on the Wakefield bench, especially after he'd been sin-binned. But it was, there was as I say, I bet it was good for them to get back out to an away day and give a couple of songs and really get the atmosphere going, because, as I say, they were in good heart today, and it's great to hear and see.
And I think that is us done, Kev. So yes, Wembley next week, same again. Result.
Yeah.
Hopefully a better performance.
Yeah, hopefully not putting us through the ringer like that. That's it. As I say, is it pre-Wembley nerves? Possibly. I just hope that while we show Castleford respect, let's when we've got a roll on, if they're down to 12, we go for it. And we might not have backed ourselves spreading it out wide tonight in the conditions. Wakefield did it. Wakefield Chancellor Armand did it. So let's hope for better conditions and a better performance. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's just done. 14 minutes. Not bad for the first effort back, isn't it, in the flesh? Right, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will catch you next week for some Wembley content. Come on, the Saints. Catch you soon. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.